But we're here cooking tonight because recipes are going to come with your registries to the event. Is that right?
It is.
And I really don't cook often, so this is a real treat for me to kind of get a lesson.
Yeah, we're going to be teaching you some stuff.
You're going to have to order me around and tell me what to do.
So tonight we're going to be making a red sauce. And we're going to serve it over polenta. As you know from my prior videos, everything I do is gluten-free. Tonight we're going to be doing a vegan version of this as well. So it's a red sauce with basil, and we're going to be adding scallops and mussels to it. But we're also going to do a separate dish for vegan using oyster mushrooms. And so we are going to start searing scallops and oyster mushrooms. So,
and side note, the only thing Christina had me bring tonight was the polenta, which I've never purchased before, I never really heard of before. It's in the produce section. There's several different kinds of it, but we have
is
the
it produce
original.
or pasta section?
They sent me to the produce section because, trust me, everybody on the walkie-talkies, chicks coming back there.
It looks like this. Well, this is what it looks like cut up. And we're going to be microwaving this and heating it up. Super simple to do. I just add a little bit of moisture in there to keep it from drying out. So, just olive oil in the pan. And maybe we could turn the camera just a little bit.
Yes, towards the... Here, let me hold it.
And I'm not a professional chef. Well, actually, you know, Mona, you're actually going to be doing this. Okay. So you might just want to turn it. But that was a good camera shot.
I can hold it.
So I'm going to have you use a spatula. You could use tongs. And you're going to let the scallops cook.
Okay.
And we're going to just put them in with our fingers. We both have clean hands.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and put them in before the oil gets too hot, because we don't want to do too much splattering. So you can hear the sizzle. I love cast iron pans, by the way. A lot of my cooking is in cast iron. And so we may not fit all of these in, so we'll just cook up the rest later. That's probably all.
Okay.
Yep, just like that. And then you can come over here and maybe I'll just tip this down a little bit.
Wow. So how do I flip them?
Well, you can take that spatula and very gently just kind of get underneath them so they don't stick. You don't want to flip them yet.
Not yet. Okay,
Yep.
Flipping that one back.
So the thing about scallops is the less you handle them, the better.
See, I've only made them once and I made them a little bit wrong.
Oh, what did you do?
Well, we wrapped them in bacon.
Oh, yum.
Which
That's
was really
never
good,
wrong.
but we cooked them too long.
Oh, well, we'll try not to do that.
Yeah.
I do rinse my scallops. I thaw them in water, rinse them, and then I dry them. They're super, super dry. So I've got them
How do you
in
know
between.
when to flip them?
I think when they get a little bit cooked around the edges. And I'm just playing with the heat here at the same time because that's what I'd be doing. Cooking scallops means you're at the stove. You're not going to go chop stuff. You're not going to go prepare anything else. You're going to just pay attention to what's happening right here. And you're going to adjust the temperature as much as you can. So this may take longer than we anticipate.
So what are you most... So then let's talk about the gala.
Yeah.
What are you most excited for?
I am most excited for an event where people feel like we're coming together and we're going to see each other and hear from each other. You're going to learn a lot about the new programming and new things we're doing at the Duluth Art Institute. We're responding to what artists need. We're responding to what kids need. We're responding to what you need as a community to engage in art. I mean, so much of what we're doing at home in our free time is led by the arts. Whether we're reading books, we're watching movies.
What has the Duluth Art Institute been up to and offering the community during the pandemic, which obviously has made things a lot more difficult to get together and get involved in the community? How have you guys been keeping up with that?
Excuse me. Well, we've been trying to serve our artists first and foremost.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of the pandemic, we realized our artists, their income, like so many people, was cut off. So we developed a program called Art in Bloom, and you can find it on our website. And the idea is, instead of sending flowers, send art. So we've asked artists who want to participate to curate a collection of art between $20 and $150.
Smells good, guys.
You go right to their website. They have it on, you click from our website to their website. You pick the art you want to buy. They handle the sale.
Wow,
they get 100% of the commission. And then they include a little note. So if you want to say, you know, to my lovely daughter Cameron, you're the light of my life, they'll say that. And then they'll also say thank you to the Duluth Art Institute for making this available to us. So we've had great success with this program, and really we wanted to get people a platform. We wanted to get artists a platform for selling art that doesn't really exist out there. There's a lot of platforms for buying flowers. So we wanted to provide something, and then we really wanted to introduce our community to the wonderful artists we have in our community.
And by the way, Christina's daughter's name is, one of Christina's daughter's names is Cameron, so that was no mistake.
Yeah.
And I just want to explain what I'm smelling here.
I might do some flipping while you talk.
Yeah, it literally smells amazing. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tilt the camera down to it.
So I'm just flipping these. You want them to be nice and brown.
They look beautiful.
Scallops cook through pretty fast. It's a very soft. Oh gosh, they're just gorgeous. Look at that. Look at all the caramelizing that's happening. You know, I don't know what my chef friends would say, but I
should flip the rest.
I love the caramelizing that happens on scallops. So these are, this one, all of these. Okay, so that's going to keep cooking. I'm going to turn the burner off because that is actually coming together really, really well. Sorry.
It looks really beautiful.
All of a sudden I have like this funky stuff in my throat. Okay, so we're going to let that keep going. Now, I want to show everybody this oyster mushroom. This is what we are making for the vegan dish. Now, I've not used this knife on any meat. So we're just going to go ahead and quickly finish chopping this oyster mushroom up. And you know, Mona asked me earlier, how do I do this? And I said, well, you know, it replicates meat, so I don't believe it needs to be like super small because you want it to be a little chunky. So
It smells absolutely amazing.
Okay. I think we're kind of heated up here. All right, oyster mushrooms in. We're gonna keep this show going here. These are gonna cook up. You're just gonna cook them a little bit. You're not gonna really work on overcooking. Wooden spoons, I love them. You know I love wooden spoons.
So where did you
and
get these
vanilla.
oyster mushrooms?
I just got them from the grocery store.
Nice.
So I wanted to get king mushrooms, but I couldn't find them. This was the closest thing. The thing that's nice about oyster mushrooms versus portobello or the little white mushrooms is that these are sweet. And remember, this is a sweet basil sauce. So you want to try and find ingredients to enhance like the sweetness of the tomatoes. If I had fresh tomatoes, I would have pureed those off the vine because it's the sweetest you can get. But let me talk a little bit about the sauce we're going to use in our recipe. I'm going to be using crushed tomatoes. We're going to be using a little bit of sauce, a small can of tomato sauce, and then I have pulverized tomato puree. So we may get a sauce from here that might be a little bit watery or a little thin. So then we're going to use tomato paste to help thicken that up. But we'll get to that stage in a little bit. Prior to that, I think what we can do now, Mona, while these oyster mushrooms cook, is let's get some olive oil in our big pan. So now we're going to use a big saucepan. We're going to put some olive oil in. All right. Right here. And I'm terrible at recipes. I mean, just keep going, keep going, keep going. That's good. And I'm going to have you, don't be shy. I'm going to have you crush all of this garlic
Yes,
the
I know
garlic
how to do
press
that part.
into
And we have a little.
this pan.
Oh, right. Oh, the other one.
I'll
right?
grab that. And so we're gonna add onions, and I did get sweet onions in case you're wondering, and some garlic. Now the way that this was served to me, there was like nothing. Everything was smooth. Like there were no onion chunks or anything. So you can do that if you want. We're not gonna do that today. We are going to put the onion in and we're going to cook it down, but we're not going to worry about having the onion be chunky.
Right.
Some folks would take an emulsifier and completely smooth out this sauce. I did that a little bit by putting the puree, making a puree in my little bullet ninja thing. Okay, so as that's going, Mona, I'm going to add a sweet onion.
Ooh. I am so excited to eat this.
And I know we're doing a lot of chit-chatting, but this meal should definitely come together in like 20 minutes. It's so super easy. We just have a lot to talk about with
Exactly, we do. We have
So-
a major event coming up, and I hope everybody has a chance to tune in. I think it's a great opportunity to get together with your loved ones and have a talk, have a night at home. You can have dinner prepared. You can follow the recipe.
Yep.
If you register for the $75 ticket, you can have a Zucker cocktail. Really, it's
You
an
know what's
opportunity
great?
to just
You can attend from anywhere. So,
across the country,
You can
world.
You can be in Nebraska. You can be in Florida or Italy. I mean, you can attend from anywhere.
You want me to do all
And
of it?
participate. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're putting in about 6 cloves of garlic. I really love
You know
garlic.
what? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
That would be great if people tuning into the YouTube live stream of the event, if you put in the comments where you're watching from. I think that would be so cool.
I just had to move the camera so
Yeah.
I could be on it too.
You should put in the comments where you're watching from. So
That would be great.
We'd love to hear that.
Okay, so we're going to cook this up until the onions are soft. We don't want to burn them or have them crispy or have any brown on them. We just want them nice and soft.
I need to get one of these. This is awesome.
And so what we're doing is really breaking open the onion and getting all that flavor into our olive oil. Okay, so we are actually ready for the tomatoes. This is how quickly this
Do
comes
you want me
together.
to chop the basil right now?
Nope, we'll
Okay.
get to that in a minute. So we're gonna put in the crushed tomatoes, and here I like to really be on top of the temperature because I don't like when the tomato starts to splatter, so I like to make sure that I'm either making it hotter or making it not so hot. The puree that I have here, I'm just going to add enough just to kind of get a sense of the consistency. What you want for consistency is a thick sauce. It's going to be thick when it's all said and done. And there's some tricks to making it that way. Well, you can hear that my heat is too low because you can't hear it cooking. I like to add tomato sauce, just a small can. It gives a little bit different consistency. And sometimes the sauces, because they're cooked down, can be a little bit sweeter. So we're going to let this cook.
Just gonna lean the camera to take a look at that.
It just looks like a marinara sauce or any other kind of red sauce that you would have going on. At this point, I am going to put some oregano in. And my oregano shows up in jars. So I am liberal with oregano. I do like pepper. Now, you could even adjust this if you were using a different type of meat and put some pepper in, like red peppers, and make it an Arab, I think they call it an Arabrata. I don't know how
Ooh,
to
so
say it.
you just did some Himalayan sea salt too?
I did sea salt and then just some black pepper. And this is all to taste. So at some point during your cooking process, you're going to grab yourself a spoon and you're going to taste this to see if it agrees with your palate. And everybody's palate is different, and especially if you have kids, they have their favorite ways of wanting their sauce and favorite flavors. And so, what do you think? Is it okay? Do I need more salt? No? Is it good?
That's perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit now of tomato paste because I do want this to cook up a little faster, and this is going to help it become thick.
Oh, gotcha.
So you wouldn't have to do paste. If you were going to do this like in a crock pot all day long, you could probably skip the paste. But I'm going to add some just to help make it thick. I feel like
So I'm really excited to see the talk about the head wraps because when you've initially told me about this artist, she
Chesley.
found you guys.
she did. Yep, Chesley Antoinette.
And do you know much about, does she do mostly work with all about the head wraps, or does she dive into any, she did some photography, right?
Yes. So the exhibition we're hoping to bring in the spring will include African heritage women wearing head wraps and outfits that she's created. And it emulates historic images that have portrayed black women over time. And she is taking the level of subjugation out and elevating the women in the photography to a point of beauty and elegance. And so you can see some of her stuff on her website. And if you go to our website, you'll find a link to find her and see the artwork that she does and the head wrap work that she does.
And when I saw those images, because I can't forget them, they looked like they were from a different time.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're amazing. I think we should cut the last thing of basil.
I can do that.
All right, so this is a sweet basil sauce. Oh, I know what I'm forgetting. I am going to add some sweetener to this sauce.
Ooh.
I don't use white sugar, so I use monk fruit because it's low in glycemic value and it has 0 calories and it's natural. It's not an artificial sweetener. And so it looks just like white sugar. But I'm just going to sprinkle some of this in just to kind of help the tomatoes
Do you want
become sweet.
this in there now?
So yeah, let's chop the last
Okay.
stack of basil. Let me turn the camera. I'll show you.
Christina taught me how to chop very well. You put this point down and you keep it on the table.
And we have stacked the basil so that
We
can
stacked
just
it.
slide right
It makes it
through.
a lot easier. And then she said you can slide the board or you can slide it like this, which earlier I think you were just doing me a favor.
When I slid the board.
Yeah, you slid the board for me. Now I'm at veteran cooking status about.
You're doing great.
Thank you.
And we're gonna put all the basil in, and this does not need a lot of time to cook.
So put it all in?
Yep, just put it
Okay.
all in the sauce. It's gonna be so pretty. So my friend Jenny brought basil from her garden, and you, I'm sure, have friends, if you're not already growing basil on your own, that you can get this herb from. It's so aromatic and so beautiful.
Weren't you saying more? It seems like a lot of people you talk to are
Yeah.
growing basil right now.
Yes. Okay, so the sauce is ready for the seafood. But before I do that, because we did have, ouch, that is hot. We cooked the oyster mushrooms in this pan. I'm gonna just transfer sauce into this pan. And this is going to be your vegan version, oyster mushrooms. Now I would normally cook my scallops in butter, and you can do that, but I didn't want to have any cross-contamination.
Oh, that looks
So,
beautiful.
This is what the sauce will look like, and that will go over the polenta with the oyster mushrooms. We're just going to let that simmer a little bit. This is getting pretty good consistency. I mean, it's not as smooth as I usually like it, but it's going to be delicious and
Oh,
wonderful.
it smells amazing.
I'm going to grab a spoon and taste it before we actually add
I cannot wait.
all of our
I'm gonna grab my
seafood
spoon.
into it, just to see how we're doing.
Oh no, I can't grab my spoon because
Oh my
I'll be
gosh.
double dipping.
Get on the spoon.
I'll get a new spoon.
Oh, this is really good.
I am not a double dipper, and if you ask any of my family members, when I was younger, I remember this vividly. I was eating a Hot Pocket at my Noni's house. Noni is Italian for grandmother, and my aunt Mona, my aunt's name is Mona as well. Aunt Mona wanted a bite of my Hot Pocket, and it was like a breakfast Hot Pocket, and I was eating it, and she took a bite of it, and then I was like, I don't want it anymore. And I thought back to that, and I was like, I am so sorry, Aunt Mona, what a brat I was. And she goes, I didn't care because I got to finish your Hot Pocket.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's so awesome. Okay, so we're gonna just put the scallops right in this sauce. And Mona, do you want to grab the mussels?
Yes.
The other ingredient we're putting in here are mussels.
And you
so
said I could just
if
pour
you
it
just,
right in?
well, we're not going to use all of
Okay.
them, but if you want to show them on camera.
Yes.
So we washed these and we picked through and grabbed the select mussels from the group.
We only kept the ones that were fully closed,
Yes.
and ones that were not closed we did not put in this bowl.
Yes. And so all of these ingredients we can buy here in Duluth, Minnesota. And so I'm hoping that wherever you are, you can get all these too. Let's just go ahead and put a couple handfuls of the mussels in. You put them
My
in.
hands are really small, so maybe 3.
You put them in within the shell, and that will actually be plenty.
Perfect. Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
You want to grab that for me a second, please? And we're going to cover them. Actually, let's go ahead and just submerge them a little, and then we'll let these cook. And now we get to just chit chat for like 5 minutes.
Sweet. What could we talk about?
How about the gala?
Well, I'm super excited because I've never been. I've seen events prior, not many, but virtually is a whole new ball game. I can't wait to interact with people through because it's a YouTube live stream.
It is. We're doing everything through Zoom. You'll get a Zoom link, and then you'll automatically be moved into a YouTube experience where you'll watch it live stream, and you'll see presenters and panelists, and we'll all be participating.
Tell them about the flow of the evening because I loved
Oh,
hearing
yeah.
about that. And then also what I was saying is I can't wait to interact with people. So in the YouTube live link, you can write comments, and then we can talk back.
Yeah.
So I love that.
So it's going to be about an hour and a half long. And the first segment is where everybody can participate. Chesley Antoinette is going to tell us all about the Tignon Law in New Orleans and how it inspired her artwork and in sculpting head wraps. Then we're going to go into another section where we're going to have the DAI fundraising program. You're going to learn about what we're doing, why we want you to donate. You're going to help us raise some money. I know all of you are. And then after that's done, for the people who have participated in the $30 and $75 ticket level, you're going to get time with Chesley, and she's going to teach you how to sculpt head wraps, and she's going to teach you several ways. Head wraps are a global accessory, and she's going to show you globally a number of ways how that comes together. It's done. It happens that fast. And you know what we didn't do?
What did we not
We didn't get the polenta ready. So let's go ahead and put that in the microwave really quick for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I was a volunteer at the Duluth Art Institute Gala 2 years ago, and I was putting together all the placemats for every single table.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work that doesn't have to be done because
Oh,
it's virtual,
yeah.
and that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that is true.
But in
Although we
person, it
miss
was
you.
so fun. There was so much dancing, and you got to have dinner. So that's nice to incorporate this at-home recipe, because it is, in a way, you're getting to take that experience home.
Right.
Because if you've ever attended, I'm sure people that are tuning into this have attended one of these events in the past, and it really is an amazing experience.
Well,
And people
thank
get
you.
really dressed up. This is going to be so fun. We have, so we want to make it fun, and if anybody can do that, Robin Washington.
Yes, you two are going to be great. It'll be entertaining. Definitely. All right, so I'm just moving the polenta around, and we're going to have to
Mushing
cook it. Yep. We're going to cook it a little longer so that we have a soft polenta. It's still very firm. And so we'll give this a couple minutes. So how about we take a little break, and when we come back, we'll plate everything up and show you what it looks like.